I remember a while back I did a rant. It was about a thing I did in school about like GMOs or something. Well, today I'm gonna do something similar, except it's about a video game instead of any other thing. It's about Overwatch. You probably played it before if you're on this channel, and if you're on this channel and haven't played it before, you're probably some kid from school that I told about a channel and you're watching it now because fuck you. Don't laugh at me. I know you are. Anyway, shit. I just cursed. Demonetization. I'm not trying to make money anyway. The point is, there's this character, Pharah, in Overwatch who can fly, right? So when someone picks this hero, normally they pick another team member if it's a person called Mercy, who can hover to people, and Pharah can fly, so you hover to the Pharah. So you have a support that's pocketing a character that does a shit ton of damage and is hard to shoot in general at most ranks. And in later ranks where you can shoot her down, generally the Pharah is better at aiming at that rank, so she can hit you, take cover, and if you get it down to 199 health out of 200 health, she can immediately take cover, because she's probably at a range where she can just move like a centimeter and be full healed by Mercy, who's probably standing right next to her anyway. Not to mention the damage boosts that she's going to be getting, so she basically two-shots you, except she doesn't land a direct shot on you, just kind of around you. And there's only really like 3 characters that counter her, which would be McCree, which has fall-off damage, so you just stay out of his range and you're fine. Soldier, who has less fall-off damage, but also does a lot less damage, so if you have a Mercy healing you, generally you won't die. And a Widowmaker, who stands very, very still, and is generally easy to hit, but unless she has good aim, she's really easy to kill. If she has good aim, then all you have to do is fly really, you take cover, you get really close to her, you can just aim straight down and shoot, because you can't. Oh, I didn't mention this either. Her rockets boop you around and you get shot by them. So the one thing you kill her with is accuracy with aiming upwards, and she just kind of sprays around you and boops you around and fucks up your accuracy while being pocketed. Probably has damage boost. And right now, this is just dominating the meta. And every match is just counter Pharah the game if someone chooses Pharah. And it's not that fun. People say it's a really good combo, Pharah Mercy or Pharah Mercy. And it is, but it doesn't really take that much skill to execute. All you really have to do is get someone with mediocre aim and literally any Mercy. It could be a bronze Mercy. She can fly and hold left click and right click sometimes. That's all you need. And then you have a character who will never die and is constantly doing damage to your team. And unless your team knows how to deal with it, by just focusing completely on destroying the enemy team first, or you have a really good soldier, or a really good Widowmaker, or you know that you have to heal the soldier while he's killing the Pharah, or you pocket a Widowmaker with damage boost, whatever. Unless your team actually coordinates to kill Pharah, she's just gonna completely roll you, and this is in solo queue, obviously. I don't really keep up with the pro scene. I don't know how pros deal with Pharah Mercy specifically, which I should probably know about if I'm going to talk about this, but that doesn't really matter. Point is, Pharah's a bitch. That's the simplest way to put it. I also don't understand the nerf that Soldier got, because Soldier is one of my pick to kill Pharah. I can pretty easily track her in the air with Soldier and get a decent amount of headshots to either scare her away or finish her if she doesn't take cover fast enough. But now that he only does 19 damage, he takes, I think, 1 more shot out of a burst of headshots to kill her, and by that shot, the spray or the spread of the gun is too much to really aim accurately. So, yeah, you have a situation where a Soldier can't really kill Pharah anymore. At least reliably. If it's a horrible Pharah, it's easy, but reliably killing Pharah with a Soldier now is pretty difficult, especially if she has any sort of support, which she will, because it's Pharah. And you're a Soldier, so you probably don't have a support unless your team's coordinated, which usually it's solo queue, so it isn't. Usually the Pharah Mercies are duo queuers too. One friend picks Mercy, one friend picks Pharah. So they have at least some coordination when they do it. So the point of this video, aside from ranting about that for about 5 minutes, is to ask Jeff Kaplan, Daddy Kaplan. He's never going to see this, but I just want to ask, can we just get another flying hero in the game that deals with Pharah? Now I know it sounds really stupid. Like why would you want another flying hero if Pharah's flying is such a big issue? Like it makes her so mobile and stuff. Well, Pharah's the only character in the game that can fly with that much freedom. Like once you start flying with Pharah, you never have to land if the enemy team doesn't counter you. Well, if there's another hero that could fly, that maybe, I'm not even sure how this would work, but that could shoot Pharah more easily than Pharah could shoot it, there would be a more viable counter to Pharah. But then that might just take Pharah out of the meta and be replaced with this new person, so you'd have to work around making that new person not very viable for ground assault. So if you're flying, it's harder for you to shoot things at the ground, but if there's a Pharah, it's easy. I'm not sure how you do this. It's probably a horrible idea. But that's just something. Like, having another option for those assholes who just want to fly around and not be shot at. Or, better yet, make a character that's ground-based, specifically designed to Torbjorn's turret, for example. Just auto-locks. Maybe something like that. Just auto-locks on Pharah, because fuck Pharah, am I right? Just like a giant, shit, what are they called? Anti-aircraft guns, yeah. You know one of those? Instead of Torbjorn's turret, he has an option to build an anti-aircraft gun, and once he puts it down, it builds up to level 1, and it does 200 damage a second as soon as Pharah gets in its line of view for 0.1 seconds. I think that's a pretty good, that would be a pretty good counter right there. I think that's probably the best option that Blizzard should go with, because it doesn't involve adding a new character. It's adding a new type of turret for Torbjorn. In all seriousness, though, that could be something that's viable, like a gun for Torbjorn that he builds specifically designed for taking out Pharah and other characters that jump around and have high mobility. Because right now Torbjorn's turret will just shoot a shield or shoot a tank, and it's not very good. But say you have, or yeah, even better, it shoots a diva who's defense matrixing. I think what you should be able to do with Torbjorn's turret is have maybe have 1 for gun, 2 for hammer, maybe 3 for a targeting thing. So you point it at an enemy, and they become a #1 priority target for the turret. So whenever that target gets into the turret's range, doesn't matter what the turret's shooting at before, it locks onto the other target. That way you can just target Pharah, and if any tanks catch the turret's view before Pharah comes in, it's still going to look at Pharah and start dealing a moderate amount of damage. This won't completely counter Pharah, since Pharah can still easily outrange the turret, shoot it with rockets and stuff, but it's a more viable kind of counter to her. Because the main problem at lower ranks is that no one can really shoot Pharah. No one can aim up that well. And I think if we had Torbjorn's turret do kind of the legwork, that could help out the lower ranks dealing with the pharmacy issue. As for the higher ranks, I mean, they kind of deal with it already. They just, what you gotta do is coordinate, which is much harder to do at lower ranks, but at higher ranks, I guess it's more, happens more often, would be the best way to put it. But yeah. This was, if you watch this entire thing, thank you. This is gonna be the end of the video. Like, favorite. Does favorite even exist on YouTube anymore? I don't remember the last time I favorited a video. Anyway, like, favorite if it exists. Subscribe. Donate to my charity. It's called Autism Speaks. You get it? Cause yeah, I hope you get it. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'm just gonna let it sit here in silence until 10 minutes to get that sweet ad revenue. But then again, I also said a curse word earlier, so probably gonna be demonetized actually, which is the sad part. Also, apologies if the audio is bad. I'm using a webcam. I do have a little bit of shame in that, and I do want to get a better microphone. But I'm poor. I'm not poor, I just don't want to spend money on it right now, because I don't upload regularly enough. Anyway, thank you all for watching. We're going to sit here 10 seconds in silence. Let's go. Bye. Bye.